Hello dear students. Today in standard 8 science in our universe we are going to start our next topic regarding the sun. But before going on to that, let us take a brief preview on what we have studied in the earlier in this chapter. So far we have looked about in our solar system that what are the some of the celestial objects, what can we say about the celestial objects, what are the celestial objects, the definition regarding that we have seen in the previous lecture. So the things around in this universe are in the orbit in the space, okay, and rotating around in the orbit in the space, that will be called as the celestial objects, or it will be called as the celestial body. Afterwards we have seen this lots of information regarding our universe, that what are the solar system and what it consists within it, okay. So things that is consist within the solar system are the sun and the 8 planets. In the previous lecture we have seen that how can we memorize the 8 planet in our solar system, okay. But in this lecture we are going to see about the sun, okay. First of all, we have started our solar system. In that we have seen that how can we memorize the planet, what are the names of that planets. So generally basically we can say that there is a 8 planet that presents in our solar system, and that will be Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, okay. And we have we can consider the Pluto and also the another planet that is lies within the Pluto, that will be the Charon. So they both planets are rotating around each other in the last orbital structure, but government has removed this last planet due to the small size, okay. So government has removed this planet. Afterwards we have seen what is the galaxies, the types of galaxies that is present in this universe, we have seen about that. In today's lecture we will be starting the sun. So as you can see on your screen, this is the sun's base. We can visualize the sun as like that. If we are taking the basic animation, or we can visualize the sun onto a larger scale, so we can see that it will be look like that, okay. So this is the sun, okay. We are going to see about this sun. So first of all, basic information regarding the sun, that it gives the energy sources to the our humankinds, and also it gives the energy sources to our animal beings. Also it gives the energy sources to the planet. Also it gives the energy to the whole of the things that will be very much sufficient and very much needed to the our living beings. Otherwise we cannot live our life to the fullest. The sunlight comes onto our earth, and that creates the photosynthesis process into the plant, that will create the food product of the plants, and then afterwards we are taking the food from the plants. So first of all, it will be very important for the plants. Another thing that the sun gives us, that it gives us the light energy, and it is give the sufficient amount of energy. If the crops aren't grown at all, in the first chapter we have seen that crop will be very much needed to the our human being. Otherwise we cannot live our life to the fullest, okay. We can without eating the food we cannot live our life. So also the light energy comes, and that gives us the magnificent atmosphere in our human earth, and that will gives us the that will create the evaporation process, vaporization process, that creates the clouds, and then afterwards it creates the clouds, and then water will fall down into our earth's surface, okay. So these types of phenomena generally happen due to this sun, okay. So this is the very important point. Generally it consists the 6000 degree temperature Celsius in it. It means it have a 6000 degree Celsius. We have seen the 44 or 45 degree Celsius on the our earth, and still we cannot live here. So assume that there is a 6000 degree Celsius temperature going on this sun. So we have to study about that. Afterwards we are going to see the 3 planets, in which we are going to see the first planet, that is Mercury. Afterwards we are going to see second planet Mercury. Afterwards we are going to see the Venus, and then afterwards we are going to see our Earth's planet, Okay, so let us begin our sun's basic topic. If you can see the animation here, now I am going to show you the slide regarding the sun, and then afterwards we are going to discuss all the topics that will come in the sun's portion. Okay, I hope you all enjoy this, okay, animation. Okay, so first the topic comes that, if you can see here, these are the basic topics that already we have finished, that what is the stars, what is the solar system, what is universe. Okay, these are all the topics that we have already finished. Okay, now going to see the sun. Okay, the sun is a star. Okay, naturally we can say that it is a star. So if you think that the sir, what is the thing that we are seeing in the night time in our sky? So it is also the star. Like that, our sun is also the star. But they are so far away from our earth. So that is the reason that why we cannot visualize them into a larger size. Okay, but our sun is very much closer to the earth. That's why we can see him bigger, and that gives energy to our earth. And earth is the sufficient amount of distance at the sun from the sun. So that is the why we can live life here. Mercury is very much closer, Venus is very much closer to the sun, so the heating radiations, that heat energy comes onto the Mercury and Venus, and this will be very much high than earth. So for that reason, Mercury and Venus can't consist the living life on that planet. Okay, so think about that, the more heat energy will also get erupted the whole human life, more heat energy will erupted whole living things life. Okay, so for that purpose we are going to see the necessarily distance that is away from the suns to the earth. Okay, the sun is a star. Okay, if you think about that, so they are all the stars, and that will also consist the planet, but because of the distance we cannot reach there. So we can understand that there is a if there is a planet are rotating around that or not, because we can't reach there. So just we have to visualize, or just we have to imagine that there is some kinds of planets are rotating around those suns. Okay, but they are very much away from our earth, so that's why we can see him in the smaller side. And very much precious information regarding the sun is that sun is also like us. Sorry, the star is also like us. All the stars I am talking about is like us. First of all, we are going to talk about the stars, and that will be the stars means the sun is get born, afterwards it gets mature, after it gets adult, and afterwards it gets old. So you can visualize that the stars are like us. Like we are born, afterwards we are going to get old, afterwards we are going to get adult, afterwards we are going to get old, and then we are going to die. Like that, stars also born, gets adult, gets mature, and then old, and then die. So our sun is on a adult or the maturation point. So in billions of years after that, it will also get die. The stars look like the blue color, are just being born and going to start young. The stars become reddish or yellowish, becomes adult or becomes mature. And the stars, those who are getting blackish or brownish day by day, it will get old and it will die soon enough. Okay, so we can consider that the stars are like us. Okay, and so from that point we can assume that after a billions of years the sun will also get destroyed. Okay, so we'll have to think about that what happened after the billions of years. Okay, so we'll have to imagine that. So first point is that the sun is the major source of the heat and the light energy for all the planets and their satellites in the solar system. The temperature of the sun is 6000 degree Kelvin. Sunlight takes about the 8 minutes to reach the earth. It has the diameter about the 13,92,684 kilometer. First of all, what points are discussed, we are discussing here, that the temperature of the sun is 6000 degree Kelvin. It means it is a very, very high temperature. We cannot reach. If we are just nearby that, we are going to burn ourselves. Okay. No satellites, no rocket launchers are still can reach the sun because of its heating temperature. So if we want to reach the sun, then what should we have to do? We have to make the material, or we have to make a rocket launcher like that, that it gets a satisfaction during the 6000 degree Kelvin temperature. Otherwise it will also get burned, it will also get melt down. Okay, from that point we can say that we have to maintain this temperatures range in our rocket launcher. So still we cannot afford, and still we cannot make these types of rocket launcher, but in a future, a very, very near future, we can say that we will make that types of rocket launcher, and we will make these types of satellites, and they will get us the more information regarding the sun. Sunlight takes about the 8 minutes to reach the earth. It means when the sunlight is generated and sunlight transfer from that, it will reach in the 8 minutes in our earth. Okay, after 8 minutes the radiation or the ray of sunlight will reach our earth after 8 minutes. Okay, next point is that it has a diameter about the 13,92,684. Means what? The diameter means what? If you can visualize, or if you have seen, this is a circle, and circle has a center point, and if I measure the center point's distance to another point that will come in the circle, that will gives us the radius. Okay, this will gives us the radius. If I measure the whole radius on the both sides, that will gives us the diameter. This is called as the diameter. If we multiply radius by 2, it will gives us the diameter. If we divide diameter by 2, it gives us the radius. So from that point we can say that the diameter of the sun is how much? That 13,92,000. If you want to measure that, we cannot measure it on the scale, because we don't have the scale like that, because it is much bigger in the size comparison. So that is why we can say it is a very much in the bigger size, and that's why it gives us the more amount of energy to the earth. Okay. Afterwards, we can say that what is the next part? The sun's name is came from where? The messenger of the Roman gods name sun. From that point we have given the name sun. Okay, going to the next information about the star. So stars are the celestial objects that are extremely hot and have a light of their own. The stars appear to be very small because they are very far away from us. Okay, I get it. The stars appear to be small because they are very far away from us. Okay, so from that point we can say that sun is also the star. And why we can see that sun is the star which is nearest to the earth. This is the important point that you have to understand. Stars and the planets are both the different things. We are a planet, but sun and the other things are not the planet. The stars have their own light, like blue, orange, yellow, and that light gives us some kinds of energy, and that will be, say, it will be a sunlight energy. Okay, other energy will be come in the stars from that we are going to explore in the next lectures. Sun is the nearest star to our earth, and that's why we can see him, and that's why it gives us the energy in the appropriate amount. Sun looks much bigger and brighter because it is much nearer to us than any other star. Okay, if you understand that, brighter because it is much nearer to us. Otherwise we are still thinking about that it is a star, but we cannot understand that why it is glowing. It is glowing, but we can see the glow because it is very near to our earth. Okay. Next, the revolution of the earth around the sun and its rotation about its axis is the cause for 4 minutes earlier rising of the same star after each day. It means it gives us the delay of the 4 minutes. If you see the stars today on a 9 p.m., then you will see the stars on tomorrow, that same star on tomorrow on 9:04 p.m. On the other day, you can see the star on the 9:08 p.m. This is the structure that will give us the delay in the time, delay of the time from our Earth to the star. Okay. So I'll give you a brief 3 seconds of time, so you can take a screenshot from here, and afterwards we are going to start our first planet, and that will be Mercury. Okay. Okay, if you see, now we are going to discuss what is a next planet in our solar system, that will be the Mercury. Okay, we're going to start that. I'll just show you a brief animation regarding the Mercury so that you can visualize that. Okay, here it is. This is the sun that we have already seen. Look, this is very much beautiful. Okay, already we have finished the sun's structure. Now we are going to see the Mercury. Okay, this is the heating surface of the sun. You can see it from here. Okay, and afterwards we are going to see the first planet, and that's the beautiful planet in our solar system. That will be the Mercury. You can see it here. Okay, if you take a look at here, this will how the Mercury look like in this space. This is a very small planet in the size comparison to us. Okay, but it is a very beautiful planet. Okay, so we are going to study now on that Mercury. Okay, first we'll start the Mercury. Okay, if you can see the look at very much sunlight comes onto that, and that's why the living things can't live there, because on a daytime, what happens there? In a daytime, we can say that there is a lots of amount of heat energy comes onto that, so that's why living thing cannot live there. And in the night time, if the rotation takes place on the Mercury, then what happens? The Mercury will rotate, the other sides didn't get any kind of temperature there. So on the daytime, the temperature will rise much more, and in the night time it will get decreased in the minus degree Celsius, like 300 or minus 200 degrees Celsius in the night time. And in the daytime it will reach the plus 200 degree or 300 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's why we can say that it will not consist the appropriate amount of living thing, or that's why we can say that there is a no living life present on here. Once again we are going to look at the Mercury. Okay, another time we are showing here the Mercury planet, and then afterwards we will start the information regarding the Mercury. Okay, we're going to start now Mercury. Okay, let us start the Mercury basic planet, or first of all we will discuss the planets. As I already told you that planet doesn't have their own lights. It will be from getting the light from the sun or the stars. A planet is made up of the rock or metal or the gas. Okay, planets do not have their own light, so they do not twinkle like the stars. As we see here in the night time, we have seen the twinkling of the stars effect, but in the 10th standard you are going to see that is coming from the atmospheric refraction, and that's why we can see that it is a we can understand that it is a atmospheric, due to the atmospheric refraction the twinkling of the light is occurred. All the planets revolve around the sun and also rotate on its axis. A day for a planet equals to the time taken by it to complete one rotation around its own axis. A year for a planet equals to the time taken by it to complete one revolution around the sun is in its orbit. Day means what? A day, it means it takes whatever the time it takes to rotate around on its own axis. While a year means what? It revolves around the sun. In the first lecture I have told you that there is a two kinds of phenomena that all the planets are doing. The first phenomena that all the planets are doing, it will be called as the rotation. If they move on their own axis, it will be called as the rotation, and if they move around the some object, it will be called as the revolution. So all the planets are doing both the procedure, rotation and revolution. In the rotation, they are taking a time that will be called as a day, and if they revolve around the sun, and whatever amount of time it will be taken as will be called as a year. Okay. Also, another information regarding the planets are the terrestrial planets and the Jovian planets. So what are the terrestrial planets and the Jovian planets? We are going to see that first. The generally terrestrial planets are the planets lies before the Mars orbit. Okay, the planets comes before the Mars orbit. It means what planets? Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. Okay, Mars orbit, till the Mars orbit finished, before the planets came, all the planets are called as the terrestrial planets, and after the Mars orbit all the planets came, it will be called as the Jovian planets. So what is the terrestrial planet and what is this Jovian planet? So terrestrial planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. All the remaining planets will be called as the Jovian planet. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are all the planets that will be called as the Jovian planet. Terrestrial planets are very much close to the sun, while Jovian planets are far away from the sun. They are small in the masses and in radius. Okay, it means this is the radius. So they are small in the masses and also they are small in the radius. Okay, large masses and radius. The Jovian planets are all have a big size. When we are going to see this whole planet, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, you can then learn that they are very in the high large Mars. They get a very much bigger radius comparison to the terrestrial planets. They have a rocky and solid surface. These are the gaseous surface. They have the high densities while these have the low densities. They have the slow rotation time amount. They take the slow rotation time amount. They will take the fast rotation. It means they are moving very much slowly and they are rotating very much fastly. Weak magnetic field, they have the strong magnetic field. Because of the weak magnetic field, all the planets or all the satellites cannot come to us. Otherwise, what happens that all the things will reach to our Earth and then our planet will get collapsed. And they have a very strong magnetic field, so that's why some of the objects will get pushed down to that planets. There are no rings into the terrestrial planets. They have no ring-like structure into that, while Jovian planets have the many rings into that. They have a few moons. Like us, we have only one natural satellite and that will be called as the moon. Many moons, it means they consist of lots of moons into their orbitical structure. Okay. Now we are going to see the first planet and that will be all the information I have given. This is the first planet, Mercury. We are going to see. We have seen the animation regarding the Mercury. Okay. Mercury is the first planet from the sun. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system as well as the closest to the sun. I have already told you that it takes 88 Earth days to complete the one revolution around the sun. It means we take the 365 days, but generally in 88 days, because it is very much near to the sun, so that way it is take a shortest amount of the revolution and it will only take 88 Earth days. Mercury is the terrestrial planet. Lots of craters like the moon will be created during this Mercury. Hot during the day and cold during the night. Look at the temperature. In the night it will reach the minus 173 degree Celsius and in the daytime it will reach the 427 degrees Celsius. Means you can see the difference between night and daytime. It is a very much difference in the temperature. Okay. We can say that Mercury shows the phases like moon. It means it will get a new moon after some time. It will get the full moon. These types of phenomena will be occurred in this Mercury. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for this lecture. We are going to finish this lecture. In the next lecture we are going to see the remaining planets. Okay. Okay, till then, bye bye everyone and take care of yourself. In today's homework, I am going to write today's homework. Okay, otherwise you will ask me that what is the today's homework. Okay, in today's homework you have to write explain sun, and in the question to explain Mercury. Means you can write a short note regarding the sun and you can write the short note regarding the Mercury. Okay, so I hope that you all have understand this lecture and we will meet in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye everyone and take care of yourself.